So I think this is going to be my last drive in the ambulance. I'm kind of going to miss it. I have lived in this thing for almost a week now, and it's been a lovely vehicle. I have had many people who have helped me acquire this, maintain this, improve this. It gave people rides. It gave me a place to live
Turn right.
for a few days on the Polish border. Very much, it's a lovely ambulance. I like it. But now I am taking it to Roman.
In 400 meters,
One
turn
of the
right.
3 Romans helping on this little endeavor. This Roman happens to be the most helpful, but that's just because he lives in Ukraine and is not 15. So the drive here, I wish I would have had the video running for the drive here. The highway from Medika to Lviv is exciting at times. There are potholes that are enormous.
Turn
some
right,
of them as much
then
as
turn
like
left.
6 inches deep, and some of them where it's just basically the whole road is nothing but potholes. And I was trying to get to the checkpoint before it got too late. Not that I really succeeded, and I was trying to make sure I got to my hotel to be able to check in. I was going very fast down roads that were not terribly well maintained.
Turn left.
At times. There were parts that were just fine, but there were others where it was really bad. So I was dodging potholes at 110 kilometers an hour. I don't know what that is in freedom units. So anyway, it was exciting. Checkpoints. One of the reasons I didn't record last night was because they don't like you recording at checkpoints. But anyway, the checkpoints were not an issue. At the final one, they had actually been told, because that was the one where the curfew was in effect, the last one into Lviv, they had actually been told what I was doing and to expect me, and they were gracious and thankful, and it was kind of cool. The soldier spoke fantastic English, so we got to talk for a minute, and then my friend Roman, who I'm heading toward now, he's the one who had told them to expect me. He drove me to my hotel, which was completely unnecessary, but I'm not gonna, turn it down. And yeah, so I am staying in a fantastic place. Lufthansa can't figure out how to do anything, so I don't actually have a flight home right now. They initially said they could get me as far as Denver, and now I don't know. They said they'd call me back, and I said I'm in Ukraine and I get lousy cell coverage, and they said, it'll be fine, we'll call you back. So here I am, and that was after 2 hours on the phone with them this morning. So that's exciting, but either way, I think the outcome is I'm not flying back tomorrow, which means I'm staying here in Lviv for at least another day, and I am not going to turn that down. It is a vibrant city. It's got a lot of classic architecture, and it's got a lot of sort of just energy. There's people everywhere. People are creative drivers, but I haven't had anyone who's like aggressive. And I delivered the armor to Julie's husband Dre's friend. So if you didn't get that connection, it's okay. I just met a guy, or just was introduced to a guy named Dre, and he has a friend who is in Ukraine, and he just got conscripted and or drafted. I'm not sure what the right term is. Probably drafted, and he is in basically basic training now. But Dre asked me if I could
in 400
find
meters,
a way
take the
for
exit
him
on
to
the right.
purchase a helmet and body armor. And I said, convenient. I actually have a helmet and body armor because I didn't know where exactly I was going to be in Ukraine, and I figured being equipped was better than not. So I just took my kit and donated it to this person. I don't really know at all, but he's going to need it. And I hope it
take the exit on the
I
right.
hope he doesn't need it, but if he does, I'll be happy he has it. So that was lovely. Just the coincidences of ways that I've been able to help at every step of the way have made me feel better about all the many ways that others have been helping me. I feel like we're all working together, and that feels good. So, yeah, enjoy the drive through the Vive, and yeah, if anything else interesting happens, I'll keep it. Otherwise, cut this for time. Especially if I sing like the Ballad of the Frozen Lager or anything like that, definitely cut this. Don't include that part. So the roads in Ukraine are, it's one of those things that, you know, when you know there's a problem and it really needs to be fixed, but it hasn't, and you just sort of, you accept it and move on. The roads in Ukraine are one of those things that have become sort of part of the national identity, as a sad joke in a way, I suppose. There's lots of corruption, unfortunately, especially when it comes to doling out some of the contracts for the roads. So it has been a long and slow process to improve them. And so it is a thing which is getting better, but there's still a long way to go. And for the most part, they haven't been too bad in the city. The highway was exciting, but I have heard that as you get out of the cities more, like where I was driving earlier, that is the norm. There were times when I was being aggressive and still had to slow down to like 15 to 20 miles an hour to make sure that I didn't, break an axle or rip a tire off. So it's really sad because one of the things that really helps build prosperity is good transportation infrastructure. So I hope that they can reduce some of the corruption and get some of these built up so that they can get their economy rolling again once this travesty with Russia is dealt with. Or if it's a long drawn out conflict, even more so. Their economy needs to be running. And good roads will help that. Okay, I'm going to stop talking for a moment and try and figure out where I am. Okay. I know where I am. Never mind. If I want to keep the video running, I have to keep my map in its tiny little icon form, which is surprisingly useful, but still not as good as the full screen map. Huge shout out to Jake, by the way. Jake is the guy I picked up who had like the 9 ridiculously heavy bags, or maybe 10, I'm not sure. Yeah, he travels with a phone holder, and that is genius. I'm going to start traveling with a phone holder because being able to have my navigation mounted on the windscreen is wonderful. My Dacia had a built-in integration with the phone, so the phone's map showed up on a big infotainment screen, but all of my other cars, including this 11-year-old ambulance, have not had built-in navigation screens. So, phone holder for the win. People are using their turn signals to get around the potholes. So if you can see it on the sign there at the bottom left of the Ukrainian flag sign, so that is actually Slava Ukraini in their alphabet. So if you look at that, you can sort of figure out how to pronounce those letters. One of the marvelous things about their alphabet is that there is only one pronunciation for each character. So there's no figuring out how to say a word. If you can read it, you can say it. And that is fantastic. I am still learning. I would say I'm still just starting to learn. There's very little learning that's been done, but I'm trying. Trying to learn how to pronounce the alphabet, because that goes a long way toward being able to read road signs and all kinds of things. So I will have learned about 10% of what I need by the time I've left Ukraine. But maybe I'll keep at it and maybe I'll remember it, because I would love to come back in a year.
We found a faster route which saves
rebuild.
1 minute. If you prefer to stay on the current route, tap no thanks.
That would be wonderful.
In 200 meters, at the roundabout, take the first exit.
A university with an architecture program in Krakow that has English language summer courses. So, in a perfect world, next year,
in 150
Roman would
meters, at the roundabout, take the first exit.
Architecture program in Krakow, Poland, and Jacqueline and I would get to come over to Ukraine and meet some of the people who have helped me and help out a little, and spend some more time in the country. And Poland was honestly lovely too, so between the two, yeah, they just gave up on that pothole. That one actually had a wooden pallet thrown into it. I suppose that was supposed to help. Clearly it wasn't, so they just put up markers around it. That might be the Ukrainian version of the steel plates in Atlanta, where if a hole gets bad enough for long enough, they just throw a steel plate over it. At least 50% of Peachtree Street was steel plates last time I was there. Temporary steel plates, mind you, that had been there for years. I'm sure they have better things to do with steel over here right now, but maybe when they're done they can melt down some of the Russian tanks and turn them into steel plates to help their roads. Could be a technology exchange program with Atlanta, and we'll get Georgia Tech involved. The situation here is so dynamic. When I was
in 300 meters, slight right.
When I was crossing the border by foot, and when I was talking to people at the train station in Przemysl,
slight right.
There are a lot of people who left because of fear or because they couldn't stay where they lived, but they're coming back. So there were a lot of people coming back into Ukraine who had left because they just want to be here, even if there are threats of aerial bombardment, and this is home. So nothing's going to undo the sort of the mass exodus, but it was nice to see that there were people who were able to come back, and I think that will. I think that's a good sign. Oh, there's a pretty building up ahead. It has been really, obviously traveling in Europe, you get to see
in 300 meters. Your destination will be on the right.
Buildings and classical architecture, but it really is just a lot of fun to see some of the older buildings in Germany and Poland, and some of the architecture here is really pretty spectacular. I will say, though, speaking of classical, I think I might be here. I need to find parking. Okay, well, I'm going to let you guys go. Well, I'm going to wait until this truck leaves, and then I'm going to show you one more view of the pretty building. And let's see if we can get this truck to go through the intersection. Just do it, buddy. You could do it. I have faith. Alright, there's the pretty building. So yeah, that's it. Last drive in the ambulance. Talk to y'all later.